Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That would be me, fellas.
I think it was both of us.
Has everybody had
We do a roll call first.
before the agenda? Okay, roll call. Mr. Gordon.
Here.
Mrs. Rupp.
Here.
Mr. Reinholz. So. Ashton Patel. Yes. Whitney Cook. Here. All right. Everyone is present. Did everyone have a chance to look over the agenda?
I'm gonna motion to excuse Rick. I'm gonna motion to excuse Rick.
Okay, second. All in favor? All right. Has everyone had a chance to look over the agenda? Are there any additions or changes? Okay. And we don't have to, do we approve it?
What?
Agenda.
The agenda and the minutes is usually in one motion.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's okay. Okay. And everybody had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting? All right. And is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the deputy is not here. We're gonna start with public presentations. We have two today. Why don't you go ahead and go first?
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Lee, and I am from Jerry City, here tonight to let you know that Jerry City has nominated me to represent the municipalities on the ballot for the Northwestern Water and Sewer District. There will be nominations coming your way this fall for you to select one municipal member for the board. And so my name will be on that ballot, and I wanted to go over and introduce myself and put a face with a name when that comes before you here in just a couple of months. I've had the chance of being on council in Jerry City. I like saying back in the 90s. It's kind of fun. I was also mayor, served as mayor of Jerry City for quite some time, and most recently just finished nearly 14 years on the Elmwood School Board, where I recently resigned because of a promotion at work that had a conflict being on the board. And so with my free time, I'm looking for something to do. That's my joke, of course, but just looking to serve in a different way. And since Weston is one of the organizations that are a part of the municipal side of the house, there will be a person from the trustees from the townships and a person that will be nominated from the county as well. So there are 3 seats open on the Northwestern Water and Sewer Board. And I'm asking that you would consider me for that post this fall. When the application comes, there'll also be a little bit of a resume and some information about me that will be accompanying that ballot. So again, just wanted to introduce myself and let you know that I'll be on that. And I hope that you would consider me as you vote as a village council this fall.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks for speaking. Thanks for coming to visit us so we can put that face with the name.
Very good.
I look forward to seeing your ballot.
Right, very good. Thank
Have a
you.
good night. Thank you.
See you, Ron.
See ya.
And then we have,
For that one, we still have the one that visited last, Chuck, if we want to nominate him, since it sounds like he's already been nominated. That way there's multiple people on the ballot.
okay, yeah, I saw Chuck.
I know the one, I thought he still needed nominated, and I asked the water district today if they, if we can nominate more than one person, and you can, so we could probably just say both, if you wanted to do it that way.
Do we need to make a motion for that now?
I will make a motion to nominate Chuck Latta and Ryan Lee.
Is there a second? All in favor, or should we do a roll call on that one? Let's do a roll call on that one. Craig?
Yes.
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 All right. The next on the agenda is the Delta Institute.
Real quick, Will Court is from the Delta Institute. Brittany and I have met with him virtually. They have alternatives ways or other ways for stormwater infrastructure. And he's going to give a brief presentation on that. At the end of that, I'd like to move that project to committee.
Okay.
Go ahead, Will.
Great. Can you guys all hear me?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, good evening. Thank you for inviting me tonight. It's good to see you again, Craig and Brittany. James has been giving me some problems today. I'm going to try this and we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, then I'll just do some ad-libbing because I know you've all gotten this presentation before. Let's see. Can I share my screen? Is that?
You should be able to, I think.
Never had them try.
You have to allow it though.
I think I do have it allowed for people that visit, but
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Looking good? Okay. So this is Delta Institute. It's an environmental nonprofit based in Chicago. Many of us work remotely. I'm actually coming to you from Milwaukee area in Wisconsin. And I've been with Delta since last fall. And I am the leader of this project, which is funded by the Great Lakes Protection Fund. It is a technical assistance and financing platform to help communities implement green infrastructure to address flooding, water quality, and other issues. So we can help with a lot of different aspects. We can present this as a turnkey program, or you can pick and choose the items that you need us to help you with. So the idea is that we're going to create this platform that'll become a very standard way for communities, small to mid-sized communities that don't have, the resources of the big cities, that they can implement green infrastructure without having to reinvent the wheel every time they have a new project. So I'm going to try to share my other screen here. Let's see. I'm just going to stop presenting and start again. So again, this is something that you've already seen. This is a very abbreviated version of this program. And tell me if we're getting the dreaded infinity window. Okay, are you able to see this slide overview?
Yes.
Yes.
yep.
Fantastic. Wow. My luck is changing today. So as I said, Delta's a nonprofit. We have a partner, Stantec, which is an engineering consulting firm. And then we also have financial partner, Regiment Securities. So we just want to help communities in every phase of green infrastructure development: plan, develop, implement, fund, maintain, etc. So again, many communities lack the resources, capacity to implement green infrastructure. They're more familiar with, gray infrastructure with pipes and the streets and things like that. Especially nowadays, there's so much uncertainty with grant funding, and then access to debt financing can be challenging for small communities that don't typically utilize debt financing or haven't done it in 10 years, for example. So we're providing this. This no cost, I should point out, is only for our pilot communities. Normally there would be a cost associated with this. So that's why we're interested in talking with some communities to help us out, refine our approach and our platform. So this is just kind of a laundry list of things that we would do for the communities. I won't dwell on this, but and then these are some of the services again that we can provide, and then some of the kinds of projects that we're looking to help out with. And then municipal partner, basically we're asking you just to meet with us on occasion. If you want us to, we can lead this project for you if that's your, if that's what you need, or if you just need particular components, again, we can do that. It's mainly just meeting over the project period. We do ask that you make a good faith effort to implement at least one green infrastructure project within the community. And then the financing, as I explained, we're locating environmental impact investors, and we're also working on developing a reserve fund as a credit enhancement. What that means for the community is we can give you a very low barrier to entry, access to debt financing, for example. We wouldn't have to go through the typical bond market and get the ratings and et cetera, et cetera. So we can, this is designed for projects that are on the smaller end of the scale. And then we can also help you identify grants. I heard that you're already working with a grant person, so you may not need that particular service from us. But that's it in a nutshell. So we're really looking for pilot communities at this point. So we're thrilled to hear that Weston is potentially interested in this program. So I'm more than happy to answer any questions or engage in any further discussion.
Would it be possible for you to send that slideshow to Stephanie so she can send it to us? I couldn't read the stuff on there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I sent it to council about a week ago.
I do have a question. I heard it's free to pilot communities and you're looking for pilot communities. And we did talk about that. I heard about that from Brittany at our public works meeting. But then I did have a question because there's the financing element. So how does that work? How long does the pilot last? Is there financing or cost after the pilot? Is there a transition there?
So yeah, the length of the pilot program is really dependent on which communities we work with, what kind of projects there are. There is a limit to the number, so we want to get folks signed up, communities signed up as quickly as possible so that they don't miss out on that opportunity. So what happens with the pilot program is that we would cover, potentially, again, it depends on the size of the project, but we can help you out with the design and engineering and any, if you would need some outreach and things like that. And specific services, I think Craig was interested in the soil testing, for example. And then everything up to the point of construction. So we don't have funding for construction. So that would be up to the village to cover the funding for the construction. So the financing part of it comes in if you would need some extra funding to make this project happen. That's where we can help out with this, this low cost debt program. So, for example, I've heard you might be considering a stormwater fee. So that would be potentially a source of repayment if you were to take out some debt financing. You might end up just getting 100% grant funding as well. So that's fine with us. Whatever works for the community, we're pretty flexible in that respect. What we really want to do is just go through this process with a couple of municipalities, get your insights, your feedback, tell us how we can improve the program, tell us, if we need to make some changes, and we just want to walk through an entire project, I guess, is the best way to put it. And there's really no time limit. We wouldn't want something that's going to stretch out for years necessarily in a pilot project. So I think a small project in a smaller community, I think would be ideal for us, for our purposes.
Okay.
And from what I understand, there's a memo of understanding first, right?
Correct. Yep. There's a memo of understanding. We just outline what we expect, what you expect from us, etc.
We don't have to sign it, but could we get the memo of understanding and move it to administrative process?
Yes, we're actually sort of wrapping up the final draft of that. But yes, we can get that through. And then again, part of this process is we're trying to learn what municipalities, what communities need. So if you get this document and I can get it out tomorrow, if you get this document and say, hey, I've got questions about this, or can we change that? We're certainly open to doing that as well. We're learning about this process as we go. Delta has many MOUs with other, different communities for different purposes, but we've not actually done this one for this project yet. So, something we're looking to learn from this as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
And Willie said that you guys have worked with GLCAP in the past. Is that,
Yeah.
do you have plans on working with GLCAP for these pilot programs if the village requests it?
Certainly be something we would consider. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Audience?
Yeah. We work with all kinds of partners. Virtually every type of partner you can think of, we probably work with. So.
Perfect.
Excellent.
All right. Well, thank you for the presentation. I appreciate you coming today. I was really looking forward to meeting you. I've heard about you, so thank you for that. And then I don't want to take up any more of your evening. We can go ahead if you want a motion.
I will make a motion to move, once we get the memo of understanding, to administrative process.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so the memo of understanding will go to administrative process. When we receive it, we'll add that to our agenda. All right,
Thank you, Will.
thank you, Will.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
I will make a note that they have presented at a TMACOG meeting and they're going to present at a second TMACOG meeting. So there are other villages that will be exposed to the pilot program, and from what I hear, they're looking for 2 villages.
So there might be some competition, is what I'm hearing. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Yeah. Ari was able to get me in contact with them before they presented the TMACOG meeting. But with this secondary one that they're presenting to is to the wider water quality council instead of just stormwater. So I'm a little apprehensive about our timeline. And if we do decide that we want to do it, how quick can we get the yes to them?
I think you have to identify the project.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
All right, the next order of business is old business. We have a final reading for ordinance 2025-16, streetlight assessment. And this is an ordinance to provide for the cost and expense of the lighting of the streets, alleyways, and other public places in the village of Weston, Ohio, and confirming inclusion therein of new and or improved lighting projects. And it looks like. Has everybody had a chance to read it? All right, this is our final reading. Can I get a motion to approve it? Or do we motion to approve it or we just? Yeah,
So moved.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? For the reports, we have excused the mayor for the evening. It looks like there's a note. Do you have anything?
Just the talking of the rescheduling of meetings. So I know Rick was gonna do the talking, but I did put the details in my report, so.
Well, we can just move to you and if you want to touch on that as.
Okay. I guess I'll start with that then. So there's 2 meetings that may need rescheduled, or just pointing out that I won't be there, which means our virtual access will be off. One is the Otsego Open House, which is the next council meeting, the 19th, and then the other one is the one on the September 2nd, because of Labor Day, those meetings are always moved to that Tuesday, so. I don't know if you guys want to discuss that or just let them be or whatever, so.
We have at least one person that has to attend the Otsego open house, right?
Mhm.
I was gonna say,
And
this would
Stephanie.
be the third year that. we-
And we've always rescheduled in the past to accommodate that.
Okay. So,
And on top of that, that whole week, I'm not available anyway, so.
What, in August,
That week of, the 18th,
I'll be 18th.
the September one is different, but the week of the 18th, it's packed because of all the back to school and starting and.
You're not gonna be here on the 19th either way. Or if,
Not for the meeting, yeah. During the day, I'm here the whole week. It's just the evening I'm not available.
We have community development on the 19th. So if we reschedule the council meeting, we'd have to also reschedule community development.
We could keep ours, couldn't we? Because we don't need to be,
Yeah.
Yeah, we would be fine.
Yeah.
We just have to plug in.
what are thoughts on options for reschedule?
So, I mean,
15th, Friday night.
cooler.
the 21st, no, I don't want to do that whole, no, she's not gonna be here, never mind.
It's just, if I'm not here, what the plan would be is whoever would take the minutes for me, I'd put together some kind of template to kind of make it easier for whoever does that. It's just, we won't have the virtual. The host, which is me, that plugs it into the calendar has to activate it, even if there's a co-host. So I don't know what my cell service would be that day. If I was like, oh yeah, we can try.
So from what I'm looking at, according to just the meeting schedule here, we're looking at maybe the 12th in that range, or the 27th, or we leave it the same and someone takes notes. What are you guys thinking?
A virtual.
What date would you suggest?
I'm like the least picky, so.
I said the 15th. I don't have any meetings that day.
Friday night. No, I can't do the Friday. I can't do Friday night.
If it's on the 15th.
I can't do that Friday night. I think a Friday night.
I can't do the 27th either.
Oh, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
I think that we should do the 14th.
Thursday, the 14th?
Does anybody else's?
Because we'll have,
It doesn't look like any.
we have a Parks and Rec, we have a cemetery and administrative process meetings in between, so.
That works.
That's okay, you'll be home.
Does that work for everybody else?
I'm okay with it, but
On what day?
It's a Thursday.
Thursday, the 14th.
I won't be. Cause I had to take a Friday off and I was gonna go north and
Well,
I mean,
The
is
main
it
thing,
matters if I'm here or
is
not,
that damping
but
to
I'm
us?
just
Yeah, I
saying.
mean.
it.
Looking, oh, no, I was gonna say if he
We'll
has a.
have his reports as
Yeah.
well before he goes.
Yeah.
For us, the big thing is quorum. So we need to make sure we have enough council members
I
available.
can do it.
I can do it.
So can
The 14th.
I can do the 14th.
Yep.
Yeah. I can. Yeah. I just, what is the other one?
I'll say either the 14th or the 28th.
Okay, so the August 19th will be moved.
The August 18th will be moved to the 14th.
18th will be moved to August 14th, which is a Thursday.
Next Thursday.
And then November 2nd.
Just September.
Now that we talk about that,
That's quite a stretch between the second meeting and then the first meeting of the next month. Is there anything that's affected by that?
Well, that's what I was gonna say, like with the
Yeah.
18th right now, I don't see anything coming up unless it's an emergency that we would have even had if we wanted to just cancel the meeting on the 18th.
Well, if we have it on the 14th, it's still in between the same meetings. Like you still have the same meetings before and the same meetings after. There's no meeting that wouldn't already.
And if we have 5 Mondays in a month, it's about the same distance between meetings.
Sure.
Kind of, yeah.
What about approving the bills and stuff? This is what my main concern is.
Well, we're obligated to pay them anyway, so most of them are utilities. If there's any that come up, I'll have to see if there's a net due.
Do we want to,
Then we can hold off on it. If not,
do we want to make an addendum at approval expenditures today to state that we approve the obligated utilities that will be affected?
we already have to pay them. That doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah.
It's just something that's not under that obligation.
Okay, so we're still good with the 14th, August 14th? Okay. And then for the meeting, what would be September 1st is Labor Day. Are we good to move that to September 2nd, which is a Tuesday?
It's already on the second.
Yeah,
It's
that
already
day.
scheduled.
But the problem is Stephanie would not be cheap.
Yeah.
Be here
You're
then.
not gonna be here then?
Yeah. So if we wanted to just move it back to the 1st, which would have been, a typical meeting day anyway, but because of the holiday, it automatically moves.
Anybody planning on drinking that day at a cookout? Consider this.
No, it is a holiday. I think it's unfair to the people in town for a meeting to be held on a holiday or a Friday night.
When will you be back?
I mean, I work.
It's just that evening that I'm not available.
I think we're going to have to do one meeting without Stephanie. That's sad, but
Okay.
We won't have Stephanie for almost a full 30 days from the 14th to the 15th. Is the village gonna survive?
I'll be here during the day.
no, but no one will come in during the day, so.
We just push it back.
Yeah, because you got,
That is
Parks and Rec and-
tricky.
Go to Wednesday.
well, you got Parks and Rec on Wednesday.
That's weekend probably.
Could we push up the second meeting somewhere like the 28th that I was talking about? In August, have 3 meetings?
So it would be a few.
Because then it would,
earlier.
yeah, then it would just, because by that time we have community development, public safety and public works. Then you'll have your 28th meeting and then Parks and Rec, community development, administrative process.
I'd rather do the 27th so the 28th if we're looking at that.
What? You're looking in.
I am okay with either changing it or keeping it on the 2nd.
I'm for canceling the second meeting in August and just meeting on the 2nd.
Okay. Should we take a-
Because once we get into September, there'll be, as we're
Flashing
moving
a
into.
lot of stuff right
I
now.
will make a motion to cancel the meeting on the second meeting in August and hold the regular meeting on the 2nd of September.
So,
Just knowing that our virtual will be turned off for the 2nd, right?
Unfortunately.
But it gives everyone plenty of
Yep.
time
I'll
to,
be able to put the notices out, so.
okay, so there's a motion.
You guys gonna be affected by this guy and the other people that wanted to have you guys.
voting.
No, we just
No,
we already did.
For them, right?
nominating.
No, that stuff usually doesn't go till the deadline is usually in November for that, so we're good on that.
Okay, just for applications.
Yeah.
Not just-
Yeah, that'll-
not just the vote itself,
But
but
it-
the application
yeah.
you were recommending.
What it does is we will tell the water district that we nominated both of them. What they'll do is put out a ballot list. Here, I think they actually extended the deadline to like September anyway for the nominations. And then
Was this the guy that the mayor said?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that was him.
Okay, so we have a motion on the second. We're
I think we can get out of our
canceling
meeting.
the 19th, 14th,
No, I get
and
it,
sticking with
deputy.
the second. Is that what I'm hearing?
You cancel, yeah,
We're canceling the,
canceling the second meeting in
August.
August and everything that went with it.
That's not really good.
And then
our second.
keeping that September 2nd meeting, no virtual.
Okay.
And someone will have to take notes.
Yep, and you guys can pick that day, but I'll keep I'll put a thing together for whoever decides that. Okay, we did that.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
so the deputy is with us. Do you have anything for council?
Did we need to vote?
Yeah,
We'll do it in a sec.
And anything for the deputy? Jerry?
We all know there's an ordinance in regard to the vehicle parking on the sidewalk, motorcycles, all that. I know we have multiple deputies scheduled, all that, but I am suggesting that we remind them that they have to enforce that, because personally, I had to speak to the deputy, say, hey, there's a vehicle down there on the sidewalk, and it's like, oh. So I just want to let the deputies know, please enforce that.
Okay.
So we got motorcycles, we got trailers, we got cars parking on the sidewalk,
Blocking the sidewalk.
and the deputies are driving by and not enforcing that. And it's
A
been.
specific area, you know?
Yeah, on Taylor Street, and I did talk to an officer,
Same here,
very nice,
Broadway
and very
vehicles.
professional, courteous. And officer number 42, and that person went ahead, and it's a thorn in my side, because in mid-2000, the mayor at that time was very adamant about, hey, let's enforce this. And a member of my family came home on a Friday night, put on the tire on the sidewalk, and we got up the next morning, and there was a $90 ticket on the window. Instead of knocking on the door and saying, hey, deputies, we're gonna enforce it. So please remind all the deputies that they have to enforce it.
So
Thank you.
you're telling him to write tickets?
Or knock on the door.
It'd just be nice just to go up and just remind them, you know what I mean? But we got a $90 ticket, and I thought that was just overdone.
I
So
wanted to clarify because you said enforce it.
enforce it. Yeah. Thank you.
Anything else for the deputies? No. All right. Thank you for coming. We appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Be
Have a good night,
safe.
guys.
Thank you.
All right, back to the vote. Have a motion. We had a second. All in favor?
Okay.
Any opposed?
Me. I don't want to cancel the meeting. Sorry.
Now.
The rest of the report. The SIB application was submitted on the 25th. When we submitted it, the program manager noted that the committee will not review applications until sometime this month. The full process from submission to closing typically takes about 2 months. So if the application is approved, the loan would close around late September, or early October. Just a heads up on that. We did get a email from the state auditors that they're going to be releasing detailed guidance on implementing cybersecurity programs. So we'll have to, once that comes out, we'll have to figure out or put that on a committee. That's all I have for now.
Anything for Stephanie? We'll move on to the administrator report. Harold?
I reached out to or scheduled the electrical to be switched over, still haven't heard back. I think I gotta have Stephanie log into the Tool Edison account with the information to find out when they're gonna come out and do that for the ball diamond, so we can get the building tore down. We have, almost everything out of that building so far. So we've only got a few more things in there to get rid of. I have been in contact with the Village of Haskins about purchasing the old leaf mat for parts. So they're having a meeting tonight also, so they're gonna let me know tomorrow. Positive, but I'm pretty sure they want it, so we're gonna go with that, and, I had done some research on the drainage down along the ditch, or not along the ditch, but along the road down there. We should be able to put that in for, the tile is $44 a chunk, and I think it's 50-foot chunks. So that, and put some small drain catch basins in along Washington Street. So, and those were, I think they were $39 or $40 for the storm drain, for the little catch basins to connect all of tiles together. So we should be too far. You know, that's something that I can bring up at Public Works.
I was gonna say a total for public works.
Yeah, I'll get a total for Public Works on that. That's pretty much it.
Anything for Harold? Any questions?
All I want to say is, I got to commend Harold and Mr. Beck. They are super. I mean, they mow the grass, they keep everything clean and hardworking. So keep up a good job, my friend.
Thank you. I gotta take him out for dinner now.
Thank you.
I'm glad we have him here.
At least
Yes.
door dashing.
I'll keep over that.
All right. There's nothing else for Harold. Thank you. We do appreciate that. Code enforcement and zoning, Ken.
July 22nd, signed a fence permit for Brown Lane. July 25th, fence permit on Ash and also on Center Street. And on the 25th, I put a copy of the letter regarding roosters and ducks and into the door at Russ Street property. July 28th, I sent an email to Paul Scaff regarding the chicken ordinance, specifically the avenue available to correct the problem, i.e. the fine per day is $5, which will probably be negotiated away after we pay the municipal court filing fee of $95 and Paul's fee for filing. So it's almost like, what are we doing? Other than entering Paul into the situation, we're coming away losing money all the way through this thing. I don't have anywhere to go with it, but, and also the issue of roosters and or crowing hens, which I'm learning more about all the time. Some I doubt, some I can't prove wrong, so we'll just go with it. In general, possibly altering the ordinance to include crowing hens as being non-permissible. That's a possibility. So those are just my thoughts. On the July 31st, Paul responded to my email. He agrees the fine is too nominal. He disagrees with the idea that the village can hold the property owner responsible for a hen that begins to crow. Yes. Short of getting rid of chickens, period, we have lived with crowing chickens. And I don't sex roosters. That's not my job, and it won't be. So there's that. I also received an email on the 31st from the Builders Exchange, Inc. from Toledo, a construction trade association, and they were questioning the status of Crescent Chemicals' proposed renovation plan to the property on Oak Street. I sent an email to the Wood County Building Inspector to see if they had heard anything. I've not heard back from them, but I'm not aware that any plan was being thought of at this moment. But they're like a bidding communication where, you know, you submit, somebody submits to them, hey, we're putting a project out for bid, and then they track it to see how the biddings go. And so someone got hold of them that says, hey, there's something coming up. I have not heard anything about it, other than the fact that
I don't know how it could be on Oak Street,
the
The duplex on Oak Street.
but I mean, if there's a project that's going to happen, that's in a residential area,
Mhm.
so it would have to be rezoned at that point.
We had a meeting. on that.
right, but it's already gotten beat by the zoning board. They had application to change the zoning of the property.
They were already denied. So this is interesting.
Well, that's why
I
I'm
think
saying
it
I don't
actually might have been
understand.
postponed. I don't
I'm
know
just
if,
saying
I
that
didn't think it was.
I'm not disputing anything other than the fact that
Yeah, we've gotten communications,
these builders out in Toledo
Mhm.
that
Somebody
they're
reached
looking to
out
do some work.
and asked.
even when the initial notice went out for that hearing, I also got a similar email asking, about
But
the status of.
I'm just wondering if there's a typo or that
The address.
the address is wrong. Because to me, that tells me that they're looking to do something down at the plant, which is what was always discussed years and years ago.
The letter to me came, proposed renovation plan at 20310 Oak Street.
Did you,
That wouldn't make sense to
And
me.
that is,
It makes sense that it would be on Silver Street.
Yeah.
did you respond to them yet?
pardon?
Did you respond to that letter yet to the
To
company?
them, I was waiting to hear back from the building inspector. And then I'm gonna let them know, no, we don't have, they did get beat, the variance was denied. So I'm unaware of anything going
Yeah,
on.
I'm just wondering if that may be the case, that there's just a mix up on,
Whoever submitted
makes
that
more
is actually
sense for it
looking
to
for
be
something
Silver.
on Silver Street.
So on August 1st, I received a call and an email from a solar panel contractor with questions regarding permits for solar panels being placed on the roofs of houses within the village. They got a list of like 12 questions that they want answered. What all do you need, this, that, and the other thing? Our zoning code does not even acknowledge that solar panels exist.
well, they didn't at that time.
But our zoning code is effective in 2017 or 2019, and they did exist at that time.
Here?
They're in the zoning codes for different townships at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they did exist. So anyway, there's nothing in our code that refers to solar panels. But I am aware that some government subdivisions look at it as they charge them as a building addition. If they're putting it on their house, they would just call it an addition to the house. So that'd be whatever the permit fee is for an addition on their house. And they also would look at if you wanted a bank of solar panels ground mounted, that the other two of the townships look at it as an accessory building. So whatever the cost for the accessory building permit is what they do. We do nothing right now, and right now I'm gonna have to contact them and say, we got nothing. Unless we're gonna get guidance that says, hey, if it's going on a roof, it's an addition, let it be an addition. Or it's gonna be an accessory building, and eventually someone better do something with the zoning code to update it with that information. But I don't know if you guys can just make that call, if you guys want to make that call, or how you want to play this. How do you want me to respond to this contractor?
What does the county do concerning as far as putting it on roofs, for instance?
The only thing the county looks at on solar panels is the electric hookup.
That's all.
Is there anything in ORC about it?
Or,
Is there anything in ORC about it?
Is commercial different than residential on that? Because I had to provide architectural drawings for my trusses. I have 200 kW system
For over there.
solar. I had to provide the county with snow load.
Wait, on your roof.
And that was 2013.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And that makes sense, but I know that I've dealt with multiple solar panel systems that are roof mounted. And the people went to the county and got an electric enhancement permit. They did nothing for
No,
actual structure.
must be different for commercial then.
Yeah, could be.
Could we look at Grand Rapids? Cause I know that I've seen several houses over in Grand Rapids that had solar panels on their roofs.
I bet you they have a little bit more than
Might
we
be an
do.
idea.
They've had issues.
How are we legally allowed to address it though? Are we allowed to just make it a decision or do we have to rewrite a zoning code quickly? And have it go through 3 readings?
We had the windmill,
Be anything quick behind it.
we have the windmill ordinance, right?
Mm-mm.
I thought we had, like, they could only be like so big, like as in,
Township probably, right? Doesn't the township have a windmill?
Windmills in the township.
There was a time where we had discussed windmills, but I don't think it ever got.
Okay.
Is this a company, am I understanding correctly, that is reaching out as they'd like to come
It
here?
sounds like they've got an address.
Oh, they have an address.
Someone's reached out to
My
them.
property owner to have this done. And so they're trying to do their due diligence.
We may think about that because with the prices going up, I'm sure it's not gonna be the first or the last.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's not gonna be the last person at this.
I have 2 things here that I think should go to committee. As far as your response to them, you know that we can only deliver the truth.
All right,
And the truth is that we don't
We don't have
currently
anything.
have anything on the book.
either built today.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, yeah, I mean.
I wouldn't say
He's the
that.
one inquiring.
Yeah. Um, So I have crowing hens and roosters and the fine that should go to committee.
Mhm.
I'm thinking community development. We want to post. That is where that ordinance originated. That's where my thought process is with that. And then also solar panel permits for roofs on residential housing. Zoning code, the potential of numerous panels being a bank or an accessory building. Again, that ordinance was in community development as far as accessory buildings and that nature. So my thought process is for that to go to community development as well.
We were already looking at the zoning code and taking care of cleaning that up. in
Right,
Community development.
yeah. Any other thoughts or ideas on that?
I was thinking admin process for the fine for the hens because it just needs to be the amount adjusted.
Tell her.
It's still a part of, it's still part of the zoning code, so the planning commission has to
Has to work.
do that one anyway, so.
Do you want to should we just send it straight to planning commission or do you want to revisit and see if where you want to reconsider?
I think that's what we ran into with the subdivision regulations that, okay, now where does it go next? And, okay, why didn't it go to the planning committee, commission, zoning committee, commission, whatever you guys call it first? And I don't have an answer for it.
Okay.
Other than it gave another set of eyes to everything.
Good question.
So it could just be
At
a,
at the end of the day, the committee, zoning, or planning committee, whatever you guys call it, are the ones who have to make the recommendation to council. Whether your committee of economic development does or not, at the end, that change to the ordinance has to come from them 2,000.
So I see a little problem with that is because we don't meet. We only meet unless there is an issue.
So we'd
So there
have,
is nothing ever derived by us
Right.
to bring to
All of
council
your
by the
meetings
plan.
Are because I want to rezone my property. or I want
Exactly.
a variance.
Yes.
My
So-
understanding is that it allows either party to initiate it. And so if the planning commission did want to initiate something like that, they have the ability to do that. But also
Yeah.
council.
Sure, I'm just kind of saying why it doesn't happen. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so planning commission on the roosters and the fine. Am I understanding properly? That's a question. Planning commission for the crowing hens and roosters? Cause you're on that as well, right?
Yep.
And then the solar panels, the zoning code to community development,
That would actually go to planning commission
Mhm.
also.
both of them?
yeah.
Okay.
It'd be just, I think your best route would be probably just to let them know these things were pointed out.
They generally,
Want to meet or pick a meeting date, you know.
or it seems in the past, they've responded.
Mhm.
So however
And
they want to take
you
it.
know, in both these instances, I did contact Paul's office. He's out of town until the 12th.
Okay.
Thanks for the info.
So if we want feedback from Paul, we need to wait till after the 12th for those.
Mhm.
Well, it's gonna take some time anyway. It's nothing you're gonna decide on in the next meeting.
That could give time for planning commission to,
Respond.
so if they even want to consider it, you know, recommend, you know.
Is that something that you can tell the solar people that it has been referred to the planning committee?
Well, I could tell them.
Or, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I could tell them, but they're gonna say, well, do you have anything on the books right now? And I'm gonna say,
Well, I'm just
For what?
saying that depending on,
Mhm.
It's a work in progress. Progress has just started. Thanks for bringing it up.
All right, anything else for Ken? Okay. All right, thank you, Ken. Committee reports, we have Public Works from July 22nd.
In attendance for myself, Jessica Sousa, Erica Roof, Harold Boggs, and Brittany Kukowski. Maintenance schedules, buildings and grounds. Harold and Stephanie working on putting together forms. Public Works will create a policy for maintenance schedules on lands and buildings. Ms. Kukowski also asked for maintenance schedules on infrastructure. We discussed EIS stormwater kickoff meeting. Stephanie and I attended that. And they basically went over that they are looking to begin sometime in October. And they kind of showed us exactly what they're going to do. I got the impression that they're actually going to identify, am I right, problem areas?
Yeah, in a way, I think so, yeah.
It is pretty neat. It was pretty neat what they showed us. So
I was also there, it's just on mute.
I'm so sorry. You were late though.
I know, I was
Stephanie and I were kind of commenting that we're the only ones there at the time. So
yeah.
I apologize.
I was listening into my earbud with my camera off because EverDry showed up 2 hours early to my house.
I got you. You did mention that. Bleacher railing system has been ordered, partially picked up. I don't know if that's.
There was been,
Issues.
yeah, I was able to actually cancel the remaining part of the order. I'm just waiting for that to go back on the credit card and then I will reorder through the Holland Menards because they have everything in stock compared to the Finley one, which makes no sense that they couldn't just send it to each other, but whatever. And then one of the items is actually at our Home Depot and much cheaper than it is at Menards. So I was playing around with that. But yeah, that's a work in progress as well.
We also discussed mowing schedules and mowing areas outside of town. Is there a liability issue? This is more or less an administrative process and will continue to be discussed. We discussed the nuisance property on Maple, $2,000 plus to remove the shed. We were awaiting a quote on Rudolph Construction. I have in here to email Stephanie about the backstory to this property, but I believe Brittany had found it in our meeting. So there's no one living in the property now. Did we get a quote from? But did you,
1,800-ish? Yeah.
13 or 18?
Oh, hold on, I can pull it up.
excuse me,
Apologize.
Harold, do you remember the lady's name? Is it Crystal?
Yes.
Crystal. Yep, the deceased. Estimate is it looks like 1,192.55.
did we talk though in the committee about you and Gary doing it?
We did, but I was waiting for you guys to decide what you wanted to do.
We wanted that quote, I think.
Can we take a vote on whether to have Rudolph Construction do it, or do we need to move that to a committee?
It is currently in Public Works.
Like that was your funding discussion on it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, where's the line item? So.
Oh.
That's on private property, right?
Mhm.
You're talking about the shed?
But we have the
We have the order.
order.
The Rudolph Construction also pointed out, which isn't part of the order, a tree that is on that property that they deem dangerous. I said, well, that's not part of the order, and they wanted to get a hold of the property owner, and I was pretty much like, good luck. That's why we have an order.
But that's not the tree on the shed, right? That's a different tree.
No, it's
on a
like right
different
next to
address, I
the,
believe.
it's like
Yeah,
by the
that's-
shed, yeah.
Right.
You keep on going.
Okay.
I'll pick up after this
That's what I was like.
No, I'll pick up after this.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a different pen.
Since we don't have a line item and with our budget being tight and in margin, I would personally suggest administrative process.
So I will make that motion to move the removal of the shed to the administrator.
Okay, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye. We also had a public sidewalk discussion based on Mr. Stevens' comments at the last council meeting. Based on the minutes from the last meeting, it is different than what we discussed in our meeting. So I may want to follow up with Mr. Stevens on that as well. It's exactly what he meant. Actionable items, we did one. The other one is Washington Street repaving quote from January for $23,400. We discussed drainage issues, plan for Harold to do some work on the pipe going into the ditch to prohibit water from backing up. I don't know if you want to explain that more in detail.
Oh, it's just putting a, backflow preventer valve on it, so then that way the water will go out instead of water going back into the system. So it's just a matter of cutting the pipe off and making it straight and putting it on the end of the pipe, but that's something that can be done at pretty much any time.
How much of that pipe is sticking out?
I'd say right now there's probably about 6 foot of it sticking out.
Of the ditch bank?
Yeah.
How far down the ditch is it? Halfway, up or lower?
It's on the lower side of the ditch. It's probably 3 foot off the bottom.
Only thing bad about it back with the flapper valve is the water pressure. Basically, it'll equal out and it'll open up, but then, right, if it doesn't, I don't think it's gonna affect anything. I think to me, it's just might be just a waste of
It was
money.
a
Yeah,
suggestion, so I mean, it's not something. that-
because it's a free floating valve.
Right.
So the water pressure from the catch basin and that drainage line would have to be higher than the inlet, and it will never drain. Because it just, what if the current and, the lowing of it?
Do we want to keep that on Public Works to kind of come up with more ideas on that?
I think so. Plus he mentioned bringing a total for the the catch basins and the piping, so,
Because I gotta figure out how many of those we can put.
It's already in public works. We don't need to vote on it.
right, yeah.
And the last one is building inspection post quote, post office is 800, village hall is 500. We need a scope of work and also to move that to administrative process.
Okay,
So that's my motion to move it to administrative.
motion, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so building inspections and required scope of work will go to administrative process. All right, so anything else for Craig on Public Works Committee?
I'm just gonna throw in there real quick that I had a small conversation with Chris Feinze. He's the Wood County Ditch Maintenance Coordinator. And we are not on a schedule.
Which means I or somebody needs to go.
So we are down to number 40 or 45. We're at the bottom of the list. And we are looking at about 3 to 5, 6 years-ish.
What did he say about, did you mention to him how I had contacted the engineer last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can provide all of the emails that I sent through my official village email to that man.
I think a lot of internal shifting happened and
But I still think it's warranted.
this is where we sit.
We can get moved
So,
to 45.
well, on the 22nd, I sent the email for just initiating a conversation. The 23rd, he contacted me back and did indicate that ironically, the afternoon of the 22nd, a township person had called for ditch to get on the schedule. So the process will now start of them coming to look at it to see if indeed. Now, he also wanted me to highly remind everybody that village ditch cleanings cause a lot of complaints and a lot of stir up and issues with people that have not adhered to the 25-foot easement. And so say they do approve for the one that goes under center down by Washington to be done. And whenever we come up for our time, they'll send a letter to the homeowners that need to move things. And they'll give them the date that it needs to be moved by. If it is not moved, they move it. That includes fences, garages, poured patios, landscaping, trees, sheds, and anything you can think of.
Children.
Would you like me to forward you those emails? I have from-
No.
But you could take them to that email discussion that you had and move us up closer on the line, just like Rick suggested.
I mean, we can give it a whirl. You can send them to me. But this guy is, I think this guy is trying to fix previous issues.
Mhm.
So he basically said we're at the end of the list.
But it's worth a shot.
It is.
We've got safety committee on from July 28th.
Yeah, let's do that. Safety committee. That would have been Brittany.
In attendance was myself, Rick Easterwood, Rob Meyerholtz, Stephanie Montz, Kathy Hyman, Jamie Schroeder, and Tim Schroeder. We approved previous minutes. There were 210 runs year to date. Stephanie reported Medi-Count collection numbers. We are at 95% collection rate year to date. Emergency reporting will no longer be upgraded and requires switching to ESO, which has acquired emergency reporting. Jamie has contacted ESO before and was told $1,500 to do a contract with them, and he is looking into the current cost. Another option to consider is EMS charting. They are discussing all of that still. King Vision video scopes are discontinued, looking at Glide Scope Go at $2,000 each with trade-in of King Vision. Working on an official quote, Glide Scope Go would be covered by the EMS grant. We decided to go with it. For ambulance repairs, bus 915 had a catalytic converter fixed for $600 and 914 needed 3 new batteries. I did not catch the amount that the batteries cost.
$1,200.
I think it was one of our previous ones.
Estimating.
Okay. Care brought a demo truck for the EMS officers to consider purchasing. The cost would be around 250,000. I believe it was just under, right?
264,000.
264. I remember 234.
I think that was before the addition. Yeah, before.
234. Staff was going to clarify if we needed to bid it out, and safety officers recommended to pursue this unit if, and I believe I saw in your notes that we don't have to bid it out.
It's part of the government program.
Yep.
Just the 265 while I'm thinking about it. The Spark grant that we were considering for the Safety Town idea should be next on the list for Christy to work on submitting. She was submitting other things at the time. And the safety committee is waiting on the utility costs for the safety building from the township before contract review for 2026. Jackson Township is still considering using our EMS in 2026. They're still looking around. Milton Center still has yet to submit 2025 contract. Okay.
Still, yeah.
And Jamie is working on recruitment for the EMS crew for people who live in the area but who are certified but don't work for us.
Did everybody have a chance to look at the notes that Stephanie put in the folder? The bond rating, you had, that was your question on the bond rating, financing, and then if this is the route we want to go by. So if there's any discussion on that.
I think the biggest issue in discussions with Stephanie I guess it was this morning, was the fact that if we decide to sign a purchase agreement and then something were to happen that we did not purchase it come next July or whenever they're going to propose delivery, there is a penalty in there. And it's a kind of I would say it's vague from the standpoint of there could charge us against profits that they would lose from that standpoint. So
it could.
Will there be a reason why we would not be able to go through that process once you sign the PO? I mean, if this is the route that is it something that we would have to maybe look for a different provider, or is it, why would that be an issue? I'm just asking.
yeah, I don't know. Number one, we don't have our approval on the SIB loan yet. I mean, we're looking at over $500,000 in loans here coming up. And my concern, that's why I raised the question of bond rating. And Stephanie was not able to find anything on our bond rating, but we also don't have any outstanding loans. But that also doesn't mean, I don't believe it means anything from the standpoint they're going to judge our revenue probably more so than bond rating.
Right, that revenue technically is managed by the village, but it is not village. It's for EMS purposes, right? It cannot be used for.
I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about the overall for SID and that being over $500,000.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but that to me, it would be a totally different thing. Am I not reading it right? Because that is income that we manage, but it's nothing that goes in our general fund per se. It's actually, it's in our general fund, but it's allocated strictly for EMS, right?
So.
But it still affects our numbers,
Village.
the overall numbers.
Yeah, it'd be different if they were like a township. Township would be separate because their village, it's all village money.
Well, I should say it's all village appropriations.
But there would be no way we would be able to use that money for anything else besides EMS. Correct?
Basically.
So.
Well, but that's a loan. I understand what you're saying about the fund itself, but it's a loan that you're trying to determine whether or not you're going to get or not. And that's the other thing that Stephanie and I kind of questioned. I don't know.
Yeah,
An answer on that?
Not really. The other thing is we would sign this agreement now to get on that list for the new unit. But we wouldn't get, this one specifically, we wouldn't get till July 2026. We can't take a loan out now. We have to wait until then. And what if we don't get one then? Then we're in this agreement and then there's this penalty. Yeah. So unless, I haven't heard back from the bank yet, because I did tell them that scenario. Like, hey, we wouldn't have to pay for this until we get it. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think we would be able to get a loan now
No.
to pay
They have
next July.
They have to have
almost
the
12
asset.
months later.
They have to have the asset available.
Yeah.
But you could allocate the money for that payment when we take possession. Right? I mean, if that is the case.
So we're,
I mean, I understand we wouldn't necessarily have to pay for a loan or for something we don't have, but we still can allocate that money so it can be used for that purpose.
There would be such a thing, as a pre-approval by the bank, which may be possible.
Yeah.
But I don't know the specifics of how the SIB loan is going to make a difference on their decision. I don't know.
See,
I do, because when I did the SIB loan, or Christy and I, there, it tells you what, or it asks you what funds your revenue source was coming from. And that one was general, permissive, and streets.
Correct.
So for this one, I would assume the application process would be very similar, where we would tell them EMS only for our revenue source. So it's hard to say if the SIB would affect it or not
The other.
because of the way the revenue and.
Yeah. The other item was, did you find anything out from the state on what their loan program is? Is it a 10-year? Is it?
It's a useful life, and
Oh. Well,
the internet says useful life of an F-550 is 5 to 7 years.
well,
The
that's-
box is 5 to 10. But like, we could use 915 as an example. It was
Well-
way beyond its, but back then cars were built better. Nowadays, they're
It also
not.
depends on how many runs and how many
Yep.
miles and all that stuff.
So theirs was useful life.
That doesn't give you a really.
So
good
I would say they're probably also on a 5 to 7 year term like the bank.
and at the end of the day, it's not like we're obligated to, get rid of it after that. I mean,
No.
the warranty, whatever warranty will be expired, and therefore we would assume all responsibility of it. Hence, that's where that maintenance program, which I don't know if we even got to that yet. That's okay.
was the idea Kathy had of selling a previous unit to help pay for the cost.
That was, I mean, that's obviously it's what's gonna happen, but they can't do that until they
So they get the new-
assume it. But the question is where do we want to go? How do we want to move forward to get on the list? Because every month, and I understand that it's up in the air, but every month puts us, from what they said, 1 to 2 months farther than the year. So we were supposed to take possession, I guess, in July. Next year, it could be anywhere from October to November, depending on when we do it. And that just prolongs us doing that thing. It's a gamble either way. So that's a decision the council is going to have to make. So you have the option to make a motion to table or move forward with something, but we really have nothing to go by right now as far as financing and everything like that, but still need to be on record that we did discuss it.
I really wouldn't mind somebody explaining to us what the penalty would be, God forbid.
Sure.
Well, and what they're basing their cost off of. They have to have a cost structure for what their revenue.
Like I said,
is
it's
and
very
what that
vague.
would be.
Yeah, what the profit would be,
And it's a catch 22 in my opinion, because this is a promo truck that is getting built with no specs. In other words, we have no input on it. That's how they can get away with doing what they're doing. And they do it every day. And to offload that vehicle
would be pretty easy.
would be very easy,
But that's my.
that's the
main
legal
concern.
mumbo jumbo of stuff that I'm not no lawyer and that we would have to have a contract, find out what that contract would be. So.
That's basically why I have that concern, is because I know they can dump it.
And I'm just trying to figure out why we would not, if we signed the contract, why we would not take possession of that vehicle, because that's the only question I have. Why would we not? Because if we find out in 3 months that, I mean, it messes with our SIB, what are we gonna do? I mean, what can we do? I mean, we're never, that's like saying that we would never, and I'm not saying anybody's wrong on that, but I would say we have 300 and some odd $1,000 or whatever it was, 260 for that vehicle. We'll never be able to spend it on another new ambulance then. What's the other option? I mean, we're talking just until we get that loan approval for the SIB, then we can never spend it for the 10 years we might have that particular loan. What do we do?
No, that's not the point.
No, I'm just asking.
It's for the application of the SIB or what have you. I mean, signed a purchase agreement, which.
Sure. I mean, I totally get that, but we won't know about the SIB for when?
Till October.
October.
Well,
That's why I think, I know in my report, I think that the going through the bank is probably our better option than trying to go through the state when it comes to getting that,
the financing for the ambulance.
yeah, being sure that, that's not gonna affect us. If we did go through the state program, because SIB is also through the state, that might affect something, maybe not.
Well, the question being is, will the bank pre-approve us?
Yeah, that's what we need to know from the bank.
I wouldn't think they have an issue with it, but that's not me, because that's the only thing that money can be used for. I mean, that we can't take that money to be used for anything else besides what the EMS may need. So I mean, it's allocated for that department. So
Yeah, so I think what we need to know is if the bank would give us a pre-approval letter with that understanding and then that agreement, because you don't want to sign it and not know until.
How about because we decided to cancel the second meeting in August, we won't know if we can get a pre-approval until possibly the second meeting in September, since you'll be absent the first meeting in September. We make a motion tonight to agree to sign the purchase agreement if we have pre-approval from the bank. That way we can, once that pre-approval comes in, we can sign.
Yeah, I
what the
mean,
other,
And that's to be put on the list.
I think what you'd want to also vote on is which term you want.
5 or 7 years.
5 or 7.
2% more for 2 more extra
Mhm.
years. 4 point something to 4.9, right?
Yeah.
I remember.
4.2 to 4.9 or
4.2%.
4.
4.7 to 4.9.
0.2%.
Yeah. It's not a full percentage at all. It's
After
it's a
the,
point of 4. Yeah.
The only thing
5 years.
that I would, I had this discussion with Stephanie also. The only reason for the longer thing is for the cash flow issue, which it still allows us to take a look at it each year and make a determination and say, okay, we're going to put an extra 20 grand on that, which will alleviate that extra interest. Which the flexibility would be great to have at this point.
Mhm.
I don't disagree with that, so. As long as there's no penalty for early payoff,
No, there wouldn't,
I wouldn't think so.
not on that, not on $250,000.
So,
If we end up with Jackson Township, that basically is some extra money.
That's the other key factor, and that's in the contract proposals that are out there now. The contract proposals was to lead them into the $10,000 contract amount, which if this is the case and we're gonna make a purchase agreement, you're probably gonna have to go 10 grand first year through the 3-year contract period. Because it's essentially the contracts are what's gonna pay for the ambulance.
so understanding, Brittany had suggested a motion to table it until the 2nd in September.
Nope,
Mm-mm.
that's not what my motion was.
No, I'm asking, what was
The
repeated?
motion was to agree to sign the purchase agreement if we can get the pre-approval from the bank. Because we won't be meeting for another 2 meetings.
So you weren't here, we
Yeah,
canceled.
yeah, I remember that. I don't remember that, but I remember it was on part of the conversation.
I do not want to table it. I want it to be signed as soon as it comes in with the pre-approval from the bank.
With the motion of everybody's agreements today,
Mhm.
I and Stephanie would probably have to sign that.
And I'll go ahead and add that we go for the 7-year. The 7-year term.
So you have a motion on the floor to move forward with the pre-approval for the 7-year loan. And
Why are we going for the 5 and higher interest?
It's 0.2 difference. It's cash flow from the standpoint that
You can pay more.
we can pay more of it as we go through. If we decide, at the end of the year, that it just gives us the flexibility.
Okay.
Because things could run
We're
tight,
tight.
could run tight.
we have a motion on the floor. Have a second? Anybody?
Because the difference in payments, quite honestly, one more point, the difference in payments between like the 5-year plan that the bank, or 5 and 10-year plan was the difference between 30,000 and 60,000.
I didn't see the numbers, but I just remember the.
That's what it would be.
That's the percentage.
So you could choose to pay 50. You only have to pay 30.
Right.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I don't know.
It's hard
This is
to.
too much right now.
We're not going to.
For
If
us.
if there's no second, it doesn't go. It's not a big deal, guys.
It's with the pre-approval from the bank, which is what we would be waiting on anyway to make this motion. And
They're even unsure if they even do a pre-approval.
then we won't sign anything and we won't go forward with it. We made a motion.
Trouble with the penalty part of,
Yeah.
that's my hiccup right now. If that were more, if that were more spelled out. Right.
And the penalty part is the part we're also waiting on hearing from the bank on as well, right? Did I catch that?
From the pen
From pen
cares.
care.
Yeah.
All your money.
From the bank.
Okay. Is there no second offering? Second motion on this? If not, we're just gonna table it.
Send it to admin.
Send it to administrative process. We have another motion on the table. Second, the first motion did not carry. We have a motion to send to administrative process. We have a second?
Next Monday.
I was gonna say next week, which is before all those meetings that are canceled.
What are you gonna do in committee?
Well, it would be where the information goes. So when all that information comes in, we make a
Because the contracts
recommendation,
go through administrative process.
or we just table.
Be
it.
more discussion on the terms and the information from the bank. I don't know.
It would have been it would have been an easier decision for me had Penn Care been here.
I think
To
that's
explain
what
what
we
they're-
should have them email them or have Jamie.
Can
email
con-
them.
We, the mayor's office will contact Penn Care and find out the terminology. That way we get it firsthand. Not that Jamie has never been upfront. Just, that way it comes directly to us. We can pass it off.
That's not, but my case is not what Jamie found out.
No, I'm not saying that.
What there's actually stated.
What I'm saying is there's no sense of us going through Jamie to do that. We would do it ourselves to find out what the stipulations of the
Or see if they can
breach of contract. or-
physically come here and answer all of our questions too.
Well, but that's not gonna be until next month.
Yeah, I personally have no concerns that we won't be able to afford to pay for this truck.
I'm not, I mean, I agree, but
If we don't
There's
get approved from the
penalties.
bank, if we don't get approved from the bank, then we're not signing the purchase, so we won't even have any fine or fee. Because we won't sign the purchase agreement if we don't get pre-approval from the bank. The pre-approval from the bank is what would pay for the truck. So if we don't get pre-approved from the bank, then we're not going to sign the purchase agreement. That means that we won't even have to worry about any fees about not paying for this truck. I think we're overcomplicating it.
I think you're putting your
I mean, that's,
Cart ahead.
That's what I was just about to tell you. You're putting your cart ahead of the horse. You're overcomplicating it.
and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but there was 5 other people that did not second the
I was
vote
gonna
for a
say,
reason,
it's-
so.
There's a process.
And
I know.
I know, so I don't want to say nobody has a better opinion or not, so.
Discussion on
You
this.
can modify your motion, but clearly the motion you made did not pass. So there's, and we're expressing what we're
Mhm.
uncomfortable with, but you can modify the motion.
And we're discussing what you're uncomfortable with. I'm giving my opinion on what you're uncomfortable with.
I'm fine with that, but you still have the option to modify your motion if you want to.
Nope, I don't have anything to modify.
Okay, then we're gonna table it and it's gonna be tabled. Anything else from safety that we need?
That was the only actionable item.
Still need a motion to do the King, that tool, airway tool?
No, they hadn't done
No.
anything official yet.
Okay. All right, anything else for safety? If not, we're gonna move on to upcoming meetings. We have a park rec meeting, 8/6 at 5:30. Is that still okay? Okay. Cemetery 8/7 at 6 PM. I would say.
Yep.
That'd be
Yep.
okay. Administrative process, we just discussed, is Monday, 11th at 6 PM. Community development, public affairs, 8/19, no complications. Everything good? Okay, then safety, again, 8:25, 6 PM. I would recommend that we still keep the open dialogue on that conversation and have a little more in-depth conversation at the safety meeting on that. And then Public Works, 8/26 at 6 PM. If that's it, no other modifications, move on to new business.
No new business.
No new business. Okay. Does anybody have new business? Anybody? Nobody? Okay. Approval for expenditures. Everybody see the folder?
Yeah, we see it.
I saw it.
Everybody did their part? All right. If you do, we just need a motion to
I have to abstain.
approve. Okay, we have a motion do we have a motion to approve the bills?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And any abstain? I got it.
Are you
All right.
abstaining because we're in that NOMA thing, or are you abstaining for personal?
No, she
'Cause I
didn't have
haven't been
time
able
to
to read
look.
it.
Oh, okay.
That'd be all right. I mean, we don't need it.
Then I say aye.
Okay. Everybody got to see the July bank reconciliation? And
I have
see
to
a-
abstain on that one.
we have a motion to approve the July bank reconciliation. We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstain?
Abstain.
Okay, this has got to be on record. All right, miscellaneous business. Anybody got any miscellaneous business? Have anything? Okay, we're going to go to citizens, visitors, and the virtual people. We'll go with, you have anything, Brian? Shirley? Anything? Mr. Mueller?
I'm already taken care of.
All right. Mr. Schroeder?
I do have something.
Okay.
I guess I just wanted to get some understanding from the whole group. I watched the last meeting and I saw a vote for basically abandoning the Prairie Project. And I don't think that went down correctly. I have some concerns about it. To me, it's a project that was approved, waiting to be implemented. Is it unfortunate that it didn't get implemented last year? Yes, but it's not like something that has to happen tomorrow. You know, it's a project that has, timing attached to it. And I guess my concern is just, I listened to the committee report. Erica had a committee report on it, and she kind of leaves that report, or leaves that topic on the report as, hey, we're going to discuss this next meeting. Obviously the time is coming near, if you're going to do that. I know Brittany had been working on, possibly extra help, which, by the way, was outside of the scope of the original project. And right after that,
Mr. Meyerholtz uses that as an opportunity to just call a floor vote, of I make a motion to abandon the prairie at Alumni Park, I believe were your words. And there's a motion and a second, and then the mayor calls no discussion.
Went to a roll call.
It went to a roll call, and so it got canceled in less than a minute and 15 seconds. There was no further discussion on it. A item that was in committee. Now, if the committee had made that recommendation, I wouldn't be so off put by that. And so I call Rick. And Rick, I'm sorry, I understand the position that you're in.
Certainly.
You broke the tie.
Absolutely.
And Rick, you tell me, well, nothing's been done with this project.
Correct.
So, and I just want to point out that is absolutely not true. There has been a lot done with this project in the form of planning, discussion, paper,
sure,
relationships. And so I think that is wholly unnecessary to cancel it like that. You had also mentioned that maybe there was some other project that could go there, maybe. But there's not really a plan for that either.
Correct.
And, are things, going to, happen? Yes. You guys are constantly planning new things, but going back in time and taking away things that people have put a lot of work into is counterproductive. I mean, that's not a good use of your time. And so I guess I'd just be interested in specifically, I guess, Ashley, are you on community development?
Mm-hmm.
And Erica, you're on community development, correct?
Yes, sir.
How you leave a committee meeting with a report that says, hey, we're going to continue to discuss this.
It technically was not even put on our agenda until the last agenda. We
I believe
had
that was mistakenly
spoke about it
off.
in council and it was referred back. And
I think it was mistakenly taken off our agenda. That's what Stephanie told me, was I was just accidentally deleted in the confusion between November of last year. and-
like me and being new people to the committee, we stick to the agenda for most of it.
Yeah, I get that. I'm also new to the committee, but I do recall that because I went to the Public Works Committee and asked them if it was on their agenda and they said no. That then I went to council in general and said, where is it? And they're like, oh, it was supposed to be on community development. So it was supposed to be on our agenda, regardless of whether or not we knew that.
We can't fix it if we don't know.
Yeah, I get
At
that.
the end of the day, it can go back on. It just takes a motion to go back on and approval. That's what it does. It was not started. It was not started in that aspect of construction. A lot of planning. We plan all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff goes different directions for whatever reason. But this one had a plan. They had some resistance, myself included, from the initial get-go. A lot of other citizens also had their opinion on the prairie and then the livestock animals infestation or whatever, however they put it with the coyotes and bugs and bees and everything else. So I was totally against it in the first place, the walking paths, everything else. I'm not. That's done and over with. This particular project didn't seem to go anywhere. Yes, it was made a motion. It went through 3 other people and 3 other people made their decision and we counterdicted the vote I said no to the project and it got X-nayed. Now, I was at most of my decision stemmed from the conversation at the ribbon cutting from the pickleball thing that they said they might want to go to a different route. Okay, let's talk about it. And the different route was possibly putting soccer field in there. Okay, the soccer field probably would not work if there was other things. So every time there's a revolving of people in this council chamber, And then we assign new people, things get changed for the good or for the better or for the worse. So this is the way it is. It just so happened it worked this way and it's
I mean,
unfortunate.
there's a time to implementation though. And I think it's not fair to, the people who worked on that project and the people that, ultimately we reached out to, to see if they could provide assistance.
From the citizens that supported the project.
Tons of citizens, and you're never going to get 100%
Absolutely.
Of anyone liking anything. And
I never saw any of those citizens in here.
We did. We did.
It wasn't up to the 100 and some odd that was on the petition.
There was no petition about a prairie.
Yes, there was.
There was a petition about the prairie.
Yes.
Yes, there was a
A
petition
Facebook
against
poll,
it.
and the Facebook poll.
Yes. So I mean, we can,
All had options.
we can go back and forth between this at that. It doesn't really much matter. At the end of the day, this council
That's an opinion.
voted
And this is the minute
to
from,
abandon it, and this council can also vote to redo it.
I just want to point out that I just don't think that motion was I thought it was a short take. It was not the correct opportunity to motion that, especially when it was still in committee. And the fact that there was no discussion, not even asked for discussion, just 1-2 vote. And
Who's got the counter on the minutes?
Excuse me, Jigger?
Who's gonna count on the minutes?
sorry,
He's commenting on how he's gone over 3 minutes.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, that you're over.
okay. I mean, that's all I got. I just, I don't think that's right.
Okay. Duly noted. Thank you. Mr. Dallas, you got anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Jigger, you got anything?
No, Mr. Mayor, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Okay,
He was late.
if that's the case, that's all we need, and we just need a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
aye.
Motion